believe Mayor Pro Tem is on her way. If we know she's on her way, we still excuse her?
No, you don't have to. Just gonna wait.
All right, next item, invocation and pledge of allegiance. Anybody want to lead us in a prayer? Okay, bow our heads. Lord Heavenly Father, we come before you to ask you for guidance, deliverance, dear Lord. Help us to make the wisest decisions, dear Lord, in the best interest of this community, dear Lord Heavenly Father. Thank you for sending your Son. All these things I pray in your precious name, amen.
Amen.
Next item, certified posting on agenda.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and council members, the agenda was duly posted as required by state law at least 72 hours prior to the start of the meeting, and this was done by our city manager, Michael Leah.
Any public comments? Can
There
you hear
there
me?
was none today,
No public comments?
none.
Good. I'm being told that maybe they might not being heard on the mic. Better. Get the treble and the bass and all that good stuff on there now. Okay, mayoral proclamations, and I'm gonna skip 6.1 and 6.2 because our for EMS and firefighters, and they're out there actually right now on a call. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip those two proclamations, and we're gonna go ahead and get with our national police, our police officers and our public works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask, I'm usually the one that reads them. I'm gonna go ahead and ask Mr. Perez and Mr. Garcia to go ahead and read each, and then we'll make our way down and do the same process that we normally use. So Mr. Perez, if you can go ahead and honors.
This is a proclamation for the National Police Week from the state of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of Palmview. Whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15 as a National Peace Officers Memorial Day and the calendar week in which May 15 falls in the National Police Week. Whereas members of the Palmview Police Department play an important role in safeguarding the rights and freedom of the citizens of our community, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of the police department, and that members of our department recognize their duties to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, protecting them against violence or disorders, and protecting the innocent against deception, and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas our police department has grown to be a modern and scientific law enforcement agency which unceasingly provides a vital public service. Now, therefore, Ricardo Villarreal, Mayor, and the City Council of the City of Palmview do hereby proclaim the week of May 15 to the 21st, 2023 as National Police Week, proclaimed on this 16th day of May 2023.
So we'll go ahead and read the other proclamation.
Okay.
Garcia, if you may,
Well,
please, sir.
it'll be an honor to read this because, I mean, these guys have been working so hard all these days. So, the proclamation of that I'm going to be reading is, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, and the services that are in vital importance to the sustainable and resilient communities and public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Palmview. And whereas these infrastructure facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of the public works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of the government and private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And as whereas It is the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children of the city of Palmview to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works, responders, and public works programs in their respective communities. And as whereas 2023 marks the 63rd annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association, with this year's theme being Connecting the World Through Public Works. And whereas the Palmview community is encouraged to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contribution they make in protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. Now, therefore, Ricardo Villarreal, Mayor of the City of Palmview, do hereby proclaim the week of May 21st through the 27th, 2023 as National Public Works Week. Congratulations.
Thank you. So if we can make our way first with our police, and then we'll do the same thing with our public works.
was one of those that hated to read in front of class. But I did it too.
Okay, so on behalf of the mayor, for our police, thank you all for your services. I know you guys have been working real hard. And Chief, I know you've also, thank you for coming in and not missing a beat as well. Benito, you got anything to say? For the police?
Police, okay, thank you for your effort, thank you for keeping safe Palmview, and just be safe up there. I know it's hard, but just be safe. We want to see you every day here in the city of Palmview. Thank you.
I,
I don't know, I'm sorry, I thought everybody had already gone. Go ahead.
no, I think during the national prayers, you know, it was a real nice ceremony that we talked a little bit about the importance of safety in the police department, because we know that when you're out there, you know what we're dealing with, and that's the hard part, that sometimes things can look very normal, and we don't know what goes on in those with those people, and you're in between us and them, trying to save both at the same time, and we appreciate what you do in that manner, because I'm glad that everybody has training to exercise those practices, and even though bad things can happen, we've had great stories as well that we're helping individuals. As far as public works, we can see a lot of effort, as you and the people can see now what you all do. We have a lot of new people that is doing an amazing work, and sometimes it's more noticeable in some areas than others. But right now with this storm, we see the city and the piles of things being accumulated because of that, and because of you all, city is looking back into normal. And sometimes we just ask the people to be patient, because even though our staff is increasing, we still have a lot of debris and a lot of things out there. But we appreciate all that, and we know we called several people for some concerns in some areas as far as where we at, and we appreciate that feedback, just to let us know what locations are you at, because the people are concerned, but they're very grateful. In my end, people have called, they're very grateful for what you do in the city, and keeping the city as clean as possible. Thank you so much. Very grateful. God bless.
Good. Your turn.
Oh, so everybody's gone already?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Testing. Is it working?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So I've always said it every year, you know, our police department, our first responders have a public servant heart, ¿verdad? It takes a lot to get up every day and know that you're putting your life on the line for the safety of others. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you to all of our police department, and know that myself, my family, we all sleep a lot better at night, knowing that our lives, our safety is in your hands. So thank you again very much for your sacrifice and for your time, to your families who have allowed you to continue in your profession. We truly are grateful, and you know, we're just so blessed to have you all. For our public works, I mean, ¿qué se puede decir? Muchísimas gracias por todo el esfuerzo, por todas las horas extras que han puesto. Esta tormenta no lo esperábamos, pero ustedes nunca fallan, y por eso estamos bien agradecidos, y ojalá y les estemos cuidando, y estamos al tanto de ustedes, porque los tenemos que cuidar igual a ustedes, ¿okay? Porque sin ustedes, pues, es un departamento que es bien importante para que continúe esta ciudad de funcionar como debería de funcionar. Entonces, muchísimas gracias. Se les agradece mucho todo su trabajo, todo el esfuerzo que hacen. Aquí estamos para servirles a ustedes también. Y de todo corazón, gracias por todo su trabajo y dedicación.
Well, I mean, I think the commissioners covered it all. I mean, but I always, tell the people this, that I remember back in the days, the people that have been living here for Palmview or here from Palmview must remember the time that our police department would go up to 12 o'clock. There was 2 cars. And there was the 2 cars, and one of them was for the fire, and the other one was for the police department. And so I've seen this police department grow, and I'm very happy and very proud of the police department where we're at right now. I know, like they said, we sleep better at night, and we know that we're protected. But we also know that you all are out there risking your lives for us, for every citizen of Palmview and even surrounding places when they call you to go somewhere else. So I want to thank you for everything that y'all have done and what y'all do. I know y'all in good hands with the good leadership with Chief Trevino. Welcome to Palmview. You're doing a phenomenal job. I mean, I appreciate everything you've been doing. Lieutenant Sepulveda, you've been here a while. I know that's why you got the white hairs now, but I know you when you didn't have white hair. But I'm very proud of this department. I'm proud of the city. I'm proud to be representing the city. So I want to thank every single one of you police officers from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of the city, on behalf of my family, thank you. And may God bless you. Ahora, Public Works. ¿Qué puedo decir de Public Works? All I can say is that y'all work a lot. Y'all work and y'all do everything possible. Is there any way? Yo quisiera que se levantaran los de Public Works. Could y'all stand up, please? Is there any way we can turn the camera to them, Lieutenant? I want the people to see who's the one that be taking care of our city all this time, who's out there every day, picking up the brush, picking up, trying to beautify our city. Estos son la gente que los cuida la ciudad. Estoy bien orgulloso de ustedes y estoy bien agradecido, porque por ustedes está esta ciudad, se está viendo como se está viendo. Sin ustedes no podemos hacer nada. So, les quiero agradecer también de parte de la ciudad y de mi familia, que gracias por todo lo que hacen. No se va todo lo vemos y no les damos las gracias suficientes, pero aquí se las estamos dando. So, gracias por todo lo que hacen y vamos a echarle ganas. Y falta lo mejor. Yo sé que falta más equipo y todo eso viene más, pero ustedes son los que están haciendo esta ciudad que se mire bonito. Y gracias, cada uno de ustedes.
For our police, I can't say enough of how important our police is in our community. I mean, this is the most vital department, along with fire and everyone else. But police, you go out there and you risk your lives every day. And yesterday I was watching the news about some of the fallen comrades that you all have from the valley and from the state. And my hat goes off to those families, my heart goes out to those families, and your families as well. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to function as a city that provides safety to every single citizen in the city of Palmview. So I'm extremely grateful for that, and thank you so much. Public Works, I can't say enough of how proud I am to say that, I get these calls, I've been getting calls lately about how well you all are working and how expedient or how we have risen to the occasion under the circumstances. And I am so proud to say, to tell the people that this is a staff that is working day in and day out to make sure and ensure the safety of all of our citizens, picking up branches, cleaning the streets. That's a tough job, especially when you're out there in 100-degree weather. So thank you so much, Public Works, police. You guys do a phenomenal job. Thank you so much.
Un aplauso más.
Beautiful words from beautiful people in a beautiful city. uh, 4 beautiful people in our city. Thank you all very much again. And we want to keep you as a part of our family as well. You guys that have been here long enough ya saben, y los que están entrando pues van a saber más cuando, a cómo siguen. So thank you all very much. Your work doesn't go unnoticed. Next item, we worked, okay, so we're gonna hold off on the fire because they're still out there working. Acknowledgements and recognitions. Anything else? We got through that one. Public hearing, at 6:29. I have a motion to open a public hearing.
So moved.
A motion and a second. And for the record, consideration for a conditional use permit requested by Juan Escamilla to build a guest house at Mission Groves Estates.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Yes, Mayor and Council. Yes. This tract is located on the south side of the frontage of Interstate 2, approximately 780 feet west of La Homa Road. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to construct a guest home on the property. The development in the area is a mix of commercial and residential. And this request, it does conform to the zoning ordinance. The property currently has one home on it, and it requires a conditional use permit for the guest home. So the guest home would have to be connected to existing utilities, which they would have to connect it to existing water and light and sewer as well. There were 13 letters that were sent to the residents of the surrounding 200-foot radius, and as of the date of the memo, there have been 3 letters returned in favor. After discussion, the Planning and Zoning Board did recommend to approve.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Item 8.8, any other questions for 8.1? No. Okay, 8.2, consideration for a conditional use permit requested by El Mañanero LLC for 1 year to allow on the premises consumption at a restaurant at Benson Groves Estate.
Yes, this property is located along the east side of Benson Palm Drive, approximately 2,100 feet north of Veterans Boulevard. So the applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to allow on-premise consumption at the existing restaurant. The property is currently zoned general business, and it is within the general commercial area of the future land use map. Consumption of alcohol, yes, on site. So the business would have to meet the requirements as per the conditional use. They would have to maintain their parking, make sure there's minimize any littering. They would have their capacity set by our fire and building official. And this request does conform to the zoning ordinance. The location is 3,500 square feet approximately, and their operating hours would be Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Friday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. The restaurant, the restaurant would continue to operate similarly like it is existing right now. So there were 19 letters that were sent to the residents of the surrounding 200-foot radius. And as of this memo, there was 1 letter returned in favor and there were 2 against. After discussion, the Planning and Zoning Board did recommend approval for this conditional use permit for the restaurant only, the restaurant location only that's there.
Is that what they were asking for, the restaurant only?
Yes, they didn't make it any, on the application, all it specified was a restaurant. There is a, I guess, ballroom
Correct.
there, but they didn't request anything on that, so that's why they specified it just for the restaurant.
And why only for 1 year?
That's just the normal, in
And then they
case
renew it,
They
right?
renew it,
Oh,
and then
okay.
we can come back and bring it to you again.
Oh. I know they got hit hard with the storm, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I know, I saw the building.
They did repairs and they're back.
We're just hearing it, right?
Yeah. Any other input, questions? Anything that you see, Rudy, that, that we might have overseen? I don't think so, right? For both? Okay.
Okay.
Same restaurant, same everything, just asking for that. Correct.
Mayor, if you want to open the floor for public comment, but I don't think anybody's here, but for the record.
Yeah, anybody from the public have any input on item 8.1 or 8.2?
Or staff members?
Or staff members?
For the record.
Okay.
We all do.
Okay, so let me go ahead and, I'll go ahead and, at 6:34, I'll close the public hearing,
Okay,
end the public hearing.
okay. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for consent agenda for approval.
Okay, have a motion, have a second. Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 10, old business.
Mayor, also make a motion for 11.1 and 11.2 for approval.
Second.
I have a motion for 11.1 and 2 for approval. Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And for the record, just dealing with the public hearing, all right? What we had just opened the public and closed the public hearing for. We already voted, correct? Let me take the vote for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Yes, we had already. Item 11.3, discussion and possible action to approve the final plat for Whitestone Via subdivision. I have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Go ahead, Rudy, questions? Go ahead and just give us a little,
So Whitestone Diaz is an 11-lot subdivision. It's located on the east side of Charlotte Road, approximately 950 feet south of Interstate 2. They did comply with all the comments that we provided, and the subdivision has been, a walkthrough has been done, and they have complied with everything else out in the field. So after discussion, the planning and zoning board did vote to approve the subdivision in final form.
okay.
Right across the shower spot, across the road, right?
Correct, yes.
Four plexes, I think.
Yes, so we go for flexes.
Okay. How many, well, it's the fourplexes. Okay, yes. Mr. Chapa.
Yes.
Okay. Had a motion, a second. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 11.4, discussion and possible action regarding cooperation agreement with the County of Hidalgo, Urban County, for fiscal year 24 to 26.
It's our standard
CDG.
agreement that we do every year, so they can handle our federal funds for us, so we partner with them.
So move for approval.
No second.
I'll take a motion and second over here on the left. Got Ms. Garcia and Ms. Flores. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. 11.5, discussion and possible action regarding memorandum of agreement between the City of Palmview and the LRGV TPDES Stormwater Task Force Partnership. Okay, I have a motion
I'll make a motion.
and second.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, wait, hold on, let's discuss a little bit.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is a memorandum of agreement between the city and the Rio Grande Stormwater Task Force for a partnership so they can prepare our stormwater permit for the next 5-year period. Ours is going to expire in 2024, so we'll have to get it ready before that. So we'll file it with TCEQ, and they assist with that process.
All right, well, just keep us posted as we go through like you have in the past.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Rudy. 11.6,
Mayor, I want to make a motion for 11.6 and 11.7 on the action to open money market.
Second.
On the real bank.
okay,
Second.
have a motion and a second. Questions?
What is money market? I don't know what that is.
Savings account where you'll get interest back. You are limited in the number of transactions that you can do monthly. But if you do additional, aside from that amount, then you'll pay some additional fees. But it allows us to get some money back for the money that we have sitting there. So I think over 3% on each account, which is pretty good right now.
Good job, sir.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 11.8,
Oh, assign, sign.
For the new account,
okay,
11.6, assigned
And
signers.
and it deals with which funds or what?
This one, we're gonna be putting internal funds that are already in there, that if they're not doing anything, that we know that we can afford to just put them to a side, so to speak, but they don't leave the bank because it's an internal transfer, allows us to gain some interest, and then when the time comes and we need them, we can just transfer them out into their respective accounts. For the ones that we're converting into money market accounts, it's for the, like the public works equipment that we got, that we have POs outstanding, so the funds are encumbered, but they're just sitting there because we haven't cut the check. Rather than take them out and invest them somewhere else, keep them within the bank, get the 3% return.
one signer, one person,
Yeah, just one account that we need signed.
The new account.
one account, and how many sign, how many? Two? So who does not sign up here? I think, everybody signs?
I sign. Benito?
Benito? Well, I'll guess I'll recommend Javier and Benito. The ones on the,
We're going to do a motion on the same item for the same.
11.
okay, so do we need to rescind?
No, you can just make another
Oh,
motion.
okay,
Okay, I'll make,
Multiple motions.
there you
I'll
go.
make the motion. We need to make a motion for Benito and Javier to be the signers on that account.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion
If
carries.
you wanted a second.
We can have multiple actions on a single item, so that's
Okay.
allowed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, 11.8, discussion of possible action, to solicit request for proposal of banking depository services.
Mayor, just real quick, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code, we can go up to 5 years with a financial institution. We're getting to that 5-year mark, so this will just allow us to accept applications for depository services. Per code, we can accept from financial institutions that do business in the city of Palmview. If you want to allow banks outside the city of Palmview to participate, we can do that. However, we would have to adopt a policy to do that, so we would have to bring that back. But if you want to go as is with local banks, we can issue out the RFQs now.
I would make a motion to local bank.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The motion carries. 11.10, discussion of possible action, hold on. 11.9, discussion of possible action to authorize the purchase of a 30 cubic yard roll-off container.
I'm gonna make a motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second.
Do we have prices?
This-
Five of them?
Yes, for the 5, it should be 28,000. As you know, we're getting our second brush truck later this month. It's going to, actually has roll-off capabilities. So if you purchase these 5 for about 28,000, we'll be able to, for all 5, yeah, total.
Okay.
We'll be able to set them ourselves, distribute, set them out, do tire roll-off, debris rolls off. If there's an emergency event, we can respond with our own roll-offs. And we had some here at the 492 property, but we have to pay a third party for those. And when the time comes for commercial services and industrial job sites, they're required to get in accordance with our ordinance, we can provide those services as well. We'll probably order more in the future, but for now, in case of the event, 5 for.
Looks like we're gonna need a bigger yard, no, for all the equipment. Good thing.
Okay, so we had a motion, a second.
Yes.
We had some questions. Any other questions? Good questions. And again, this is for the betterment, to clean our city streets and our neighborhoods. And that's the purpose of this money, and purpose of we're purchasing this with your money, our taxpayers' money, to bring a better quality of life to you all.
With the shipping fees, it's 30,185
30,000 for 5. Not bad.
with
We're
delivery.
gonna save in the long run.
Oh, yeah. They'll pay for themselves.
Yes, they'll pay for themselves. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item 11.10, discussion and possible action on setting a workshop date. Staff by our Mr. Leo.
Mayor, real quick, while we do expect to have budget workshops probably at the end of next month, we want to have a pre-workshop before then at the, a date convenient to the council to tackle some items in preparation of that. We want to have the insurance agent come and do a presentation before you on how we did this last year. We want to talk about the planning and permitting process. I know you guys get a lot of questions and calls about the inspections and so forth. Our GIS system, we want to do a presentation for you. We want to look at our sign ordinances and other things that we previously discussed. And we also want to look at, we have a fee for $500 for new subdivisions. It's park fees in lieu of dedication of our land, and it's a little bit vague, so we want to talk to you about that. Maybe for a developer that's coming in to do 50 lots at $500 per lot, that's going to be a large fee. So maybe we can tier it, and speaking with legal counsel, we can tier it, anywhere from 10 to 20 lots, it's X amount, from 20 to 30 lots, it's X amount, because if not, it could really, really accumulate high. So we want to jump into a presentation on that. Again, we want to do this sooner rather than later, so I know we've got a lot going on this month with TML and with ICSC, but again, it's open for discussion on a date. Thinking a Saturday or maybe even a Thursday evening.
Like, how long from here?
Maybe an hour and a half tops, I'm
An hour and a
thinking.
half?
Honey?
An hour and a half?
We can keep it between to an hour and a half, maybe an hour and a half tops.
Tops.
You want to do it before May ends, or?
If we could, yes, because the question on the park fees is a big one. We've got people asking right now, some of the developers, so before we give them a decision, we'd like to
Can
get
we-
some input from council.
Can we do it like, if it's only an hour and a half, can we do it on our next board,
You could do it
council
out.
meeting?
Yeah, we could do that
So
actually.
we
right
we
after.
won't have to come back?
Sure.
I'd also like to add, consider that we haven't had a charter amendment since 2006. And so there are some things that I've been looking at that I think we can clean up in our charter. And so coming up in November of this year, we're able to take a uniform election to the voters for a charter amendment. So at that workshop, I'd like to discuss some of the charter amendment proposals that I want to recommend to the council. So I think that in addition to what Mr. Leo's describing, I would probably aggregate another 30, 45 minutes of what I'd like to present to the council for consideration for a charter amendment update.
Or we'll just keep,
We have May
next,
the 27th?
Yeah, I was looking at the same.
That would be
27th is Saturday?
next,
But
yeah, it's on
27th, that's
no, it's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
you don't
Or you
wanna
want
do
to join it in our next
I
meeting?
have graduations.
After the
My son
meeting.
is graduating,
Okay,
so.
so,
Oh,
Would it
when's
work
our
better
next
for you
meeting?
guys after, right after the meeting?
maybe Thursday?
Right after, I
on the
like,
25th?
I like right after the.
We're here at your disposal, so
meeting?
whatever's
Right
best for
after the meeting.
council.
So that would be the 30th?
Mayor and council members, the next meeting's gonna be until June
6, June 6th.
so.
It's too late.
We have, right, the next week, either Thursday the 25th, maybe, Wednesday, Thursday.
25th or 20, oh, yeah.
Let's
That was
We'll get home,
25th is a Thursday.
coming from Tuesday, our
I would-
workshop.
we'll
and
get
then
home at 10, but we'll get it all done.
The 25th on a Thursday.
Yes, because I
5:30?
wouldn't like for the employees coming in on Saturday. I mean, it's,
Thursday would be
Thursday
okay.
the 25th?
Thursday?
25th?
Thursday at what time? 5,
would be good.
5:30?
Oh, you know what? We have a special meeting, don't we, that week for that items for the public hearings that we're doing for the restaurants that are waiting on? What
Why
date
don't we
is,
do it then?
on Wednesday, the 24th? Yeah, because it should be a short meeting if I'm not
if it's
mistaken.
a short meeting, we can do that one.
Yes, yes,
That's the
so
24th?
we'll take care of
24th.
business and have the
Wednesday
24th.
the 24th.
Then
Okay.
we'll do the meeting that time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Workshop?
right after.
Okay.
That's a great idea,
Right?
because that'll be a short meeting.
Since it's gonna be a short meeting. Yeah.
We're doing that for our
So you-
businesses to get going.
And I'll just take the opportunity that because we are going to be having a conversation about the charter, if there's anything you all have or any ideas that you've all seen in your time as council, you all have been here a long time, that would be a time to sort of bring those up to me as I bring you my own proposals as well.
Does the date work for her?
That'll work.
So we can have our insurance agent. Yeah.
So do we have a motion for the
I'll make a motion for the 24th, right?
24th?
Wednesday, the 24th.
Second.
A motion, a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 11.11, discussion and possible action to end services with Robert J. Garza and company as the recognized insurance agent of record, City of Palmview.
Mayor, I'd like to discuss 11.11, 11.12, and 11.3 as an aggregate for purposes of understanding context in terms of what's happening. So the city had an agreement when they appointed Mr. Robert J. Garza after an RFQ process to be the city's insurance agent of record last year. Mr. Garza has since passed, And so that leaves the city without an agent of record. That's why the first item you see here is to terminate that services, because we did have an item that approved it, and so it's only proper we have an item to terminate it. Now, that being said, without an agent of record, our employees don't have access to somebody to go and assist them with purposes of monitoring and working with their plans. Ms. Garcia has been working with the city since the inception, and so she's intimately familiar with that. And so what I suggested to city manager was that because of her history in working with us, that we continue with her for the remainder of the original term for Mr. Robert J. Garza.
And what is that?
That would be around September, is that correct, Jerry? Around September, what's left over of this current enrollment period.
Why can't he take over like for the whole year?
So you could. The issue is that the reason why we're bringing it up for your purposes of an RFQ is because last year you all started the practice of opening RFQs for this. And so we wanted to make sure you all had the ability to make that decision and not us.
But I think it'll be too much of a short time from here to September if we could go ahead and just extend it.
I don't know if it'll be a short time. I'll leave that to the city manager and to Mr. Villarreal to answer that. The reason it's included in here is because last year you all started the practice of RFQ.
Okay.
You indicated last year it was only for 1 year and expected to bring it back this year.
So 10, 11, and 12 are the same thing?
So
Or-
no, so there are different items. So number 11
11, 12,
is
and
to
13.
specifically to terminate the services with Mr. Garza. Number 12 would be to appoint Ms. Garcia, and number 13, consistent with what you all spoke about last year when you all awarded it, it would be that you all would award it for a year and bring it back again for another RFQ this year. And so that's included in here as part of that.
So do we do the insurance every September or what?
So the enrollment periods are from September to September roughly.
Okay, so I'll make a motion for 10, 11, 10, 12, and 10, 13 for
I second.
As this,
So-
as
Discussed by
recommended.
Right, so then
Yes.
the way, just for purposes of clarity, the way that works is that we would terminate services with Mr. Robert Garza. Ms. Leticia Garcia would take over all of our accounts as agent of record. And then the city would begin the process of opening up the RFQ at the end of the current enrollment period so that we can award the new one at the new enrollment
Well, I
period.
guess my question is, so we have to go through RFQ?
So the question is, you're not required by law to go through RFQ. The reason why we included the item was because last year you all referenced that you all were only awarding it for 1 year. And so you need to appoint another one. So the question is, do you want to keep the process you started last year, which was to open it and do it through an RFQ, or do you all not want to go through the RFQ process? And so based on last year's discussion with the council, you all indicated that you
The
wanted
reason
to.
we went into RFQs was because for some, we had different agents.
Yes.
And
No,
it
we
was
already have
just 3 years, 2 years, and we just said, let's stop that and let's kind of,
So in September, would we be able to change that or update that?
So the way it would work is that the new RFQ process would begin now in order to award it in time for September. So just like the last process, agents were going to be able to submit their proposals to the city would consider them, and then award the new agent of record and for the new
So in other words,
enrollment
this is the only
period.
way we can do it?
I'm sorry?
This is the only way we can do it?
Uh,
Or is this the right way to do it?
This is consistent with what you started last year, which is to open up an RFQ process for it.
Can we extend it?
Can you extend the what?
The time of our insurance.
Instead of
agent?
September?
Yeah.
You
We would have to
could.
do
The
it with
Texas
the
Professional
RFQ.
Services Act does not require you go through an RFP for purposes of professional
Okay, so,
services.
so the action taken here,
To-
Okay, I'm gonna
would
go
that
ahead
have
and
to
rescind my,
change? Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and rescind my motion, and I'm gonna go with 11, 10, well. this is
So
what I
let's
get.
take it one at a time. So
Okay.
let's start with number 11.
Number 11,
to
okay, I'm making a
terminate
motion for
Eleven.
approval.
To dismiss.
Yes.
to dismiss because he
To
deceased
dismiss, and also on 12, to appoint Ms. Garcia,
Ms. Garcia.
So,
and 13, to extend it.
so let's go into executive session for 13.
for the RFQ.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, so I have a motion.
For 11,
For
12.
11,
second.
and 12. I have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And then we'll
I
go ahead
motion
and,
to take 11.13.
Into executive session.
Second.
I have
And just for the record, real quick, Mayor, 1113, I know was on the agenda before, and some of you have asked. Nobody recommended this, nobody from council, nobody from the mayor, nobody, this was not sponsored by a council member, or we wanted this on the agenda. This has been on the agenda before. We have been looking for direction based on, as then said, based on the direction that was given last year. We said, let's do this 1 year, and then we go forward. That, and considering the circumstances that kind of then touched on, but we'll continue that conversation in executive session.
Okay.
So we now have a new agent of record.
Yes, so Ms.
right
Garcia
now.
has just been appointed your agent of record.
Continuity, which is
Sí.
important, we need to make sure.
Okay.
Okay, so, wait, we're gonna take item 1113 into executive.
Yes.
session. So let's move on with the agenda.
But did you already vote on 11 and 12?
We voted, correct.
Mr.
You
Net?
voted, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we took action.
11, yeah, 11 and 12.
Yes.
I second.
Okay, 1114, discussion and possible action on vehicle purchase for CID. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Go ahead, chief. Questions?
What do we buy?
This one, just,
How much?
And how
real,
much?
real brief, so some of these vehicles are up in mileage. Some of them, the maintenance on them is running up in the $1,000-$1,200 because of oil leak issues, things of that nature. I'm trading in 3 vehicles to purchase this one. It's gonna be a Chevy Equinox. It is a government, vehicle purchase, with a government discount. I'm trading in 2 of the CID units. Just real quick, I've been trying to play musical cars with the department to get everything up to par and get everything in line. So I'm trading in 2 of the Chevy Malibus and 1 of the Dodge Chargers that's on patrol, that's in excess of 106,000 miles with an oil leak issue, also over $1,000 in repairs if I were to need to repair it. So I'm trading these 3 vehicles in. I'm getting a $15,000 in trade-in, so I'm only paying for the Chevy Equinox $12,500 and some dollars
I'll call for the
for
question.
this vehicle.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, chief. 1115, discussion and possible action on the purchase of a handgun.
so move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions? What are we doing here, chief?
So we're outfitting every officer. We're buying 30 Glock 9mm. We're switching from 40 caliber to 9mm for cost effectiveness. Also, we are gonna pay a little bit of a difference from our asset forfeiture, about $16,000 in difference. I did go with a trade-in program with GT Distributors and Glock. The only reason we're paying so much in trade-in difference is because these Glocks are have a special cutout on the slide where we're going to be able to, they're going to have a special mount on them for an MOS red dot. So each officer will have a red dot on their handgun, not just their rifle. So red dots is something that's up and coming in other larger agencies. Lieutenant Zamarron just went to an international firearms instructor conference, and they did a lot of research. He brought me a white paper also from a person who wrote this research. One of 2 things. It improves accuracy, especially with our troubleshooters, our weaker shooters. And 2, it reduces the liability on the city and on the department as well because of those red dots. Just very, very easy to use, and accuracy improves by strong margins. So I went ahead and went that route after discussion with Mr. Leo on it, and of course bringing it to council on it, but that's the reasoning behind that.
Call for the question.
Thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And then, discussion and possible action on the purchase of 2 patrol vehicles. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second. Okay, questions? 2 patrols?
So on these real quick, adding to it, the other Dodge Charger, the black and white one that we still have on patrol, what I'm gonna do, that one has about 85,000 miles. And that one was one that was sitting back there when I first got hired. I put a transmission on it, so it has a brand new transmission. I'm gonna de-stripe it, leave it all black. And then that will be the second vehicle to go to CID, because I'm taking 2 of their old ones to trade in. So that'll supplant the second one to go there. The reason Dodge Chargers, Tahoes are very hard to come by. You will not see any until the end of 2024. That is why with the hailstorm, when those two brand new ones got hit, there was dealerships calling me, we'll take them right now. No, I'll fix them and keep them because there are no Tahoes. Everybody wants them. So these Dodge Chargers, I'm gonna purchase these two also with asset forfeiture money to get them going. Also on patrol, and the goal here is to, by the end of the year, our patrol will have a brand new fleet.
All right. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Monthly department reports.
Just real briefly, under City Manager's report, Mayor, we're still cleaning up the efforts for the storm continue. We closed the location there on 492. As you can see, it was utilized heavily. We want to give staff the opportunity to analyze and assess what we have right now at the location, because now we have to dispose of it, and we have to do so in accordance with FEMA guidelines. We're still waiting to see if we're going to get reimbursed. We don't know that yet, and we also want to see an assessment of how much this is going to cost, how much this cost us, because it's still early in the season, and there may be more catastrophes in the future. So public works staff will continue to work on that, and then we'll reassess in about a week, because there still is a lot of brush out there. We received emails from the Texas GLO on the 2018 and 2019 grants for the drainage projects on Showers Road and Ramirez subdivision. So we're glad to see that now has started to move forward. We don't have timeline or dates yet. That's our first question. They said once we go back and forth in this, they can start giving us schedules. And we do have a pre-construction meeting with Cordia Construction for the Green Gate Grove drainage project, which council approved. We just had the rain events that kind of, took precedent or took priority, but we should be doing that hopefully before the end of the week. We just need an agreement that, that we need it blessed by both legals, ours and theirs, and they expect to start, before the end of the month. We do have our departments here as custom. If anybody has any question for any departments.
What about the urban county projects that we still have pending?
We have the street paving projects for Business Center and Palo Blanco. They did send an email to review the plans for business for one of the streets, and then I think we asked them, what about the second street, because they should be done in coordination. The good thing is the plans are done, so if we're okay with them, which our engineers I don't think have any issues with them, then they can now go out for bids for the construction. Once they get that, then we'll have a really good timeline of when they're actually going to start and do the work.
But they're going to do that.
Yes. They facilitate all that for us while that money is assigned to Palmview. They facilitate the process for us, and it helps us, and they take care of that, and they'll put out the bids, and they'll put the newspaper notice, they'll have the meetings at their offices, and select the contractor.
Yeah, if we can communicate with the GLO and be a little bit more firm and diligent on those dates and timelines. I know it's kind of hard. We have a lot of unpredictable weather coming our way, so it just complicates things. But as much as we can, just try and stay on top of that and let them know that we're ready and wanting to move forward with those projects.
Have they assigned a project manager already?
Yes, now we have an actual point of contact where before we were waiting on that, so that's a good first step.
For all of them or just a?
For both grants, yeah, for both projects,
Oh,
the
okay.
two that we have. Right, what they've asked for is just, hey, these are the plans, is this still the change? Has anything changed from the time you submitted your grant? We already said no to the first one, they give you 10 days review. We said the same thing for the second one, because that came a little bit later. And after that, okay, we're moving, they say everything's the same, okay, let's move forward, and let's get some timelines.
Do we have an amount that we've accumulated as far as the damages? I know we have to reach, what is it, a $25,000 amount to qualify for?
The reimbursement?
Yeah, for the
As
reimbursement.
Chief Alanis has more specific information, but as a county as a whole, the dollar amount was like 3.8 million.
Okay.
The last we heard as far as people self-reporting the damages, we were about a third of the way there, but that was about a week ago, so I'm sure there's been progress since then. So we have not confirmed that we've met that threshold to get reimbursed. We can get reimbursed our expenditures up to 75%. Our expenditures are probably easily over 50,000 right now, and there's still work to be done. And we still need to, again, dispose of the brush that's out there, so there'll be additional costs. But we don't have the exact dollar amounts. I don't know if Chief is going to make it before the end of the meeting, but he might have more of an update.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, just on that one, in June, when we start going over our budget, just bring the GLO and the expenses and all that information, Mike, and just kind of have it for us so we can, best plan.
Yes, sir.
as we go through the summer. Okay, 12, okay, item number 13, executive session. Do I have a motion? Motion. A motion and a second. And a second. At 7:03, we were going to go into executive session pursuant Texas Government Code 551-071, 072, 073, 074, 076, and 087.
You see that?
Item was right here. 11, thank you. All right, so we're out of executive session at 7:24. Do you want to go ahead and go over the
Yes.
the verbiage?
Mayor, for item 11.13, administration's recommendation is that we go out for an RFQ as discussed in executive session.
Okay, had a motion, second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. It's 7:24, and I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Before anybody goes, we wanted to say congratulations to the Palmview Lobos who won yesterday, are moving on to the third round.
You know what you say, right?
Why? 'Cause nobody said it, that's why.
Yeah.
My grandson plays on the other team.
No, that's not why.
I know. But
That's
it's gonna
not
be a
why.
good game. It's gonna be a good game.
And on top
So
of
I'm gonna
that,
bet what Sting did. No, but I'm not gonna bet against Palm.
who are you betting with?
No, I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna bet against.
And also next week, we have the EM3 Mental Health Parade and Rally. It starts in Sullivan. I believe the parade is going to be mainly, are we off? Are we on? The parade, from what I understand, is mainly law enforcement and the fire department. And it ends at the Mission Event Center on the 23rd from 7, I want to say it's 7 to 5, from 5 to 10. From 5 to 10, there's going to be live music, vendors, games, family fun, a lot of things for the family to participate in, and most importantly, information on mental health and where you can find resources in our community. So we hope to see everybody out there. We'll have a booth representing Palmview, and we'll see you guys there.
Thank you, thank you.
Also, it's gonna be pretty tough for me, having my grandson on one team and, being with Palmview also, so.
That's a blessing, sir. You're
It's
blessed.
gonna be tough. You'll bet.
It'll be a,
It's
it's
a
a
win-win.
good,
Wear red.
you're in a
Win-win.
Are you
win-win.
gonna wear red and black?
If your team wins, I'm gonna win.